Welcome to this special episode of The Switch. My name is Jake Burleski, Nonprofit HR's Marketing and Communication Associate. We have a great episode in store for you today, where we will hear from another excellent woman named to Nonprofit HR's 2023 Social Impact Women to Watch list. Each year during Women's History Month, Nonprofit HR proudly recognizes women across North America who have made significant contributions to nonprofits, associations, foundations, social enterprises, and the community that they serve. This special series of The Switch features the 24 finalists named to this year's list due to their extraordinary leadership, unwavering dedication, and impactful achievements. In this episode, Lindsay Otto, our Marketing and Communication Associate for Editorial and Content, sits down with Jennifer Dobbs, Executive Director for the ArtsBridge Foundation at the Cobb Energy Performing Arts Center. Throughout the conversation, we'll learn more about Jennifer's stellar contributions to the sector. In 2015, Jennifer was the Executive Director of the Alonzo F. and Norris Herndon Foundation in Atlanta, Georgia. Prior to that, Dobbs was the Director of Development for the Center for Ethics at Emory University, where she raised funds for an inaugural international summit. Since arriving in May of 2017 at the ArtsBridge Foundation, Jennifer increased revenue exponentially and acquired over $500,000 for the organization. She facilitated the foundation's 10th anniversary gala that raised over $100,000, secured funding from many individual donors and corporations, hired and developed the new ArtsBridge team, and organized various committees to assist with the educational programs that the foundation offers. Dobbs hopes to expand outreach at ArtsBridge and encourage businesses, organizations, foundations, and individuals to become invested partners. To learn more, you can find this recording at nonprofithr.com/The Switch, as well as anywhere you get your podcasts. Without further ado, here's Lindsay and Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm so excited to chat with you today. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's so exciting to be on the podcast.
I want to congratulate you again for being named to Nonprofit HR's 2023 Social Impact Women to Watch list. We are really impressed by the work that you're doing at the ArtsBridge Foundation as the Executive Director. I'm so very eager to dive in and hear from you, and I would love it if, to start, you could just introduce yourself a bit to our audience and tell us about your organization and its mission.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been a great honor. So I'm Jennifer Dobbs. I'm the Executive Director of ArtsBridge Foundation, and we are located in Atlanta, Georgia. We're located inside the Cobb Energy Performing Arts Center, which is the number 43, I think, performing arts venue in the world. So really high class, high quality art around us at all times. And we are the arts education outreach arm of the Performing Arts Center. With that said, we are our own 501c3 nonprofit. We were originally created to build the Cobb Energy Center in 2005, and then in 2007, when it was finished, we went to our primary focus, which is arts education programming, and we provide it to all K through 12 students throughout the entire state of Georgia. So that programming includes a couple basic, I call them pillars of programming. We have a curated slate of field trips wherein we help to subsidize the admission and round trip bus transportation for any school who applies to come here to the Cobb Energy Center to see a variety of arts field trips that cover STEM and culture and music and poetry and ballet, etc., so that they can have an experiential learning experience. Then we have a professional development program wherein students can learn the technical theater aspect of performing arts, right? So they can learn about sound and lighting and be really hands-on in the theater on the stage. Then we have our four-time, just nominated for another Emmy, four-time Emmy award-winning Georgia High School Musical Theater Awards program, which celebrates excellence in high school theater programs around the state. We have 50 schools annually who participate, and probably about 5,000 students, all said and done. But it's a year-round program that culminates in an award show that has a VIP carpet, but a VIP reception, a scholarship ceremony, and then our lead actor and actress from the award show go to the national version in New York City, where they can perform at the Minskoff Theater and compete for scholarships and professional opportunities. So that's very exciting. And then right now we're also piloting an outreach program. I mean, one of the things that COVID taught us process was really trying to take the arts to the people, because it just made it more difficult for folks to come to us. So we are partnering with an arts organization who's teaching artists go into underserved YMCA branches to bring them various arts programs during summer camps and after school programs. So that's sort of in a nutshell, what we do. At all times, what we're doing is focusing on K through 12 students all day, every day.
Wow, that was a lot. And it sounds so fun and so impactful. So I'm curious, what drew you to this mission and to the social impact space in general?
Yeah, it was so crazy because I was previously in for-profit, right? In banking and manufacturing. And it was like doing the robot dance, turn, sit, kneel, stand, it was like, okay, where's the humanity in this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked for a CDC, which is a community development corporation. And I was like, wait a minute, I get to actually interact with human beings and actually converse with the people I'm going to help and then see it in real time, the help I'm trying to give. And it was like stars went off in my eyes, like, oh my gosh, my heart just burst. I said, this is me. This is exactly who I am. So all of a sudden I was in that nonprofit social impact space, and when I saw this job advertisement, now mind you, on one side of my career, I'd been a professional dancer and had worked at art museums and art, councils. On the other hand, I've also worked in higher education administration, and I was an adjunct teacher at a local university at one point. And I was like, if this isn't the perfect marriage of everything I love, that comes together. So I applied. And of course, I did feel a little bit of an imposter, which a lot of people do, right? Like this idea of, am I good enough? Is all my experience worthy? Can I do it? But the journey starts with the first step. So I said, you know what? Let me take the first step because I feel like I have so much to bring. And boom, I got my dream job. I mean, who the heck would not want to figure out how they can serve all those kids and work with a Tony Award winning Broadway star every year, and be connected to Broadway and all these wonderful people. It just is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so clear to hear the passion in your voice. Like you light up when you speak about it, and that's coming through in the way you're speaking. And so, in that sort of same vein, my next question is about what unique qualities do you bring to your organization, to the community your organization has built and is building, and how has that advanced your impact?
Yeah, great questions. I was adopted by parents who I always call sort of the World War II generation of parents. They were born in the 30s and 40s, and they endowed me with this real sense of community and family and volunteerism and more, and with treating everyone as your neighbor, et cetera. And so we all grew up with the idea that we are, in essence, servants to each other, So I think that really gave me a lot of, I would say, openness and empathy and vulnerability and a lot of those type of values. But before I was adopted, I had an exceptionally difficult life. And I'd always told myself when I grew up, I was going to try to be the catcher in the rye and try to help people, especially kids, so that they didn't have to go through what I went through, right? And so I think having all of that experience really helps me as far as the personal, professional experience I can bring and how I view things, right? Who I am, my vision of the world, how I interact with it, and then how all of it works together to assist me in my role so that I can communicate with everyone, no matter where they're at. So I think for me, it has allowed me to really just continually push, when you've had such an eclectic life, a lot of the fear has been taken away. And if I care for something, I'm just going to go for it. I know the value of arts and education because it was in parts of what helped mold me and sort of save me as a child. So it's easy for me to be extremely passionate about it and push the organization forward, right? So since I've been a part of it, we have expanded our outreach. We used to only be in 58 Georgia counties. Now we have touched 70. We've increased our financial aid subsidy support from 40% to 78%. We've won the Emmy Award, 4 Emmy Awards, and had 6 nominations. We implemented the nation's first non-gendered awards because I really want everyone to understand that they are included and wanted and accepted. We inaugurated a snack program to assist students who are attending our programs so that they weren't impacted from hunger pangs from, food insecurity. We increased the number and amount of Schuler scholarships provided so that students can have some assistance going to higher ed or, pursuing a professional career. We have added the snack pack and Arts at the Y programs, and organization-wide, we've enacted the IDEA policy, which is inclusion, diversity, equity, and access. Because if our mission and vision says, hey, we're here for everyone, we want to expand our programming, then I want to make sure that everyone who interacts, with this organization understands that we are here for everyone. We're all working together for their greater good, And while I'm excited about all of that, it's not enough. There's more to be done. There's more babies to be served, So we just need to keep pushing forward.
Thank you so much for sharing that unique lens that you have based on, your background and experience.
Looking to integrate talent into your mission strategic plan? During annual strategic planning, organizations often overlook what talent is needed to meet their goals. Partner with Nonprofit HR for your organization's talent management needs. We offer HR outsourcing and project-based consulting, including strategy and advisory, retained search, total rewards, and equity, diversity, inclusion, and justice. We also offer customized trainings for your workforce. Join the many social impact organizations that have trusted Nonprofit HR to help them increase mission impact through their people. Visit nonprofithr.com.
I'm curious too how you mobilize others, employees, colleagues, community members toward that shared vision that you have.
Oh, great question. I think one thing you can't hide is sincerity of character or passion, openness, honesty, all of that. And so each day I am truly Jennifer. I just, I'm out there for all to see. My strengths, weaknesses, just like a SWOT, opportunities, threats, whatever. I am out there. And and I do that purposely because I want people to know me so well, the good and the bad of me, so that they know my character and can say without a doubt that's something Jennifer would do or say, or no, that's something Jennifer would not do or say. That's what I want. I want people to be that, I would say, comfortable with me, that aware of who I am and what I stand for, that they can stand on that. And so with that, I feel like because I am so sincere in my want and passionate about my work, that I feel just sort of by osmosis, it continues to grow and impact others, because it is just like negativity can spread, positivity can spread, And when people see folks who are happy and excited and passionate about something, they want to be a part of it too. And so I have worked really hard to cultivate internal and external relationships, really talk about how lives have been changed too, because I like to give folks examples so that they can truly understand why I'm like, here's one person that's been impacted, but that's not enough. We can have more people like this. So let me give you an example of how we have impacted a student. So we had a field trip once. It was the Dance Theater of Harlem, and they do this wonderful student show, 60 minutes, where they will do a short, stop, explain what they did in the short, maybe have some, audience interaction, and then do another piece. So they asked like 6 or 8 students who were in the audience to come to the stage. Now, the audience at the time was almost 100% Title I and underserved students whose admission had been paid by a generous donor. And they were lovely students, mostly sort of around the middle school age. So the students came on stage, and what the dancer said was, hey, you know what? Show us some modern dances. We're going to incorporate it right now into our piece. So they said, okay, we're going to give you, like 30 seconds, do it. So the students get up there and they do the backpack and, all these other modern dances, and everyone's excited and clapping. Now, I just happened to be there. I swear to goodness, this wasn't purposely arranged. I just happened to be there with the donor I was fataying. I was also fataying a possible program partner. And then on top of it, the authority CEO and general manager was there. So all these folks are there as my guests, sitting there in this audience. then the dancers say, okay, now what we're going to do is, okay, that was cool, but we want to give you like a minute and we want all the dancers on stage to just go all out. So they say that. And there is one young boy, I won't give his name, but he was in 6th grade, attended a Title I school. And all of a sudden he starts doing like 8-footés and glissades. And I mean, he's killing it with the ballet. Everyone is on their feet screaming. Like I'm in tears. I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd this kid come from? Right? Because it's very hard at that age to be a young African-American, boy on stage doing ballet. So the artistic director came out on stage and said, young man, what is your name? He gave his name and she said, that was phenomenal. I want to invite you to the Dance Theater of Harlem for a free summer camp this summer. I mean, if he hadn't come to our program, that extremely rare opportunity would have never occurred. We find out later that his mother is a single mother. She is a teacher and just, challenged with affording dance classes for him. And he was self-taught on YouTube since 3 years old. Are you kidding me? And so from there, we had them at our gala. We connected them with people. It was one of those things of, oh my goodness, if this only happens once a year, this is why we do what we do. And so I bring others along and mobilize them by giving them true stories like that can help them to understand the impact we can have on lives.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can totally understand that. I love it. So what is the most important thing you've learned as a leader in this space?
I think the first thing I've learned is that for what I do, a singular, self-contained arts education foundation that serves K through 12 students, I'm in rarefied space. I've learned that a lot of times I'm going to have to be a leader no matter what, because there aren't similarly positioned. What I've also learned is that I'm a professional student because I'm constantly curious, right? It's funny because the older I get, the less I feel I know. I don't know how that works, but I continually learn how to meet educators and parents and students and community members and program partners and others where they are at, so I can serve them in the best way possible. I think that's very important, is always keeping, in a sense, like customer in mind, right? So our customers are our K through 12 students. But I also continually learn more about myself, how to become better, how to gain more wisdom, how to become a more relatable leader, for whom we serve. I'm on a process of personal continuous growth as well as the organization. And so I'm constantly open to learning and growing both ways.
And so what is your people management philosophy in engaging mission-driven talent? Or what role have you seen people management play in advancing your mission?
So really, not to sound corny, to put heart in art, right? To put heart in art. I truly see employees as people, just that. They are people. You nurture them as you would a seed, and you'd be surprised at the growth from your watering. I really care about the people who work not just with me, for me. So, and we take good care of each other. And I feel like even though I am absolutely dedicated to excellence and we work very, very hard, we're a small team. It's myself and 3 employees who serve tens of thousands of students every year. We also take a lot of time to joke, dance, eat, laugh a lot, because I also believe that you can have fun while doing good. You don't have to be exclusive in either category. As a matter of fact, I would say that one of my employees, I'll tell you, who is the development marketing coordinator, was the lead actress for the Georgia High School Musical Theater Awards in 2012. It's come full circle. But what happened in 2012 was that she was homeless, living in a car with her mother and sister behind a Walmart. And she was coming to rehearsal and no one knew, but they noticed she just kept staying late. And they're like, are you okay? Do you have a ride home? Do you need help? And so finally she fessed up and let them know what was going on in her life and how this was her safe space, her haven. And so organizations we were connected with with and families we were connected with all stepped in, sort of took a piece. One said, we'll get you clothes, we'll get you food, we'll help you find a place to live, we'll help your mom get a job so that can help change the trajectory. And it did. And now here she is going to school for her master's degree, working here now as an employee, giving back. So we're starting to see this full circle. So I really believe that if you are pouring into people and not doing it just for, okay, I expect back, but they do remember that and do in one way or another pour back in various ways, whether it is to really be very dedicated to the mission and vision, whether it is to give their all. I just think it's very simple. It's the golden rule. You're kind, you treat people well, they'll do the same in return. And in a work environment, I think that's so important, especially with so much disconnect anymore with how people work and where they live and all of that. So as far as the mission, what works is that because I listen to them, we ideate, we take good chances, educated chances, for the organization. And I encourage my employees to be the best version of themselves at all times. They turn around and just give their all, which means the students we serve always get the best we have to give, And so we're constantly striving and working tirelessly to give each student a high quality educational experience. May not work for everyone. It works for me, and I'm just very clear about the fact that I can't come to work, and I don't want it to work with anyone who comes to work and just sees it as a job, that you punch in and punch out of from 9 to 5. I definitely feel like you have to have an actual heart for it, and we have to be able to get along as human beings, and that we have a group think as far as how can we work together to meet the mission and vision as best we can.
Yeah, it's really evident to see how through all those beliefs you've inspired so many. And I would love to know what advice you would give to those looking to inspire women in the same way.
I would tell women who want to inspire the same way, you're you, I'm me, but be fully you all day, every day, and don't make any apologies, and bring your whole self, its imperfections and perfections, to the world and everything you do each day. To me, that's the main thing. I would also say it's also dangerous to think you know it all. So continuously learn so that you're not staying stagnant in all areas of your personal and professional life, and find good mentors who can guide you. I mean, I'm the type that I will call up someone. I don't care who you are, because whoever you are, you have what I want, and that's experience and knowledge. And I admire that. So I want to sit at your feet, right? So I have board members, I have authority members, and the CEO and general manager of the authority. Oh my gosh, they are the best. And I truly mean it, because I look at them as those who help guide me, but those who really have my back. They support me, and they are just so intelligent, worldly and otherwise, in all of their fields, that I go to them for mentorship and advice. I also go to people in the community who are fantastic leaders, so that I can better hone and improve myself at all times. And I guess I get that from my dad, right? He said, you want to be a CEO, Jennifer, you need to hang around other CEOs. And I'm like, huh? And he says, it's very simple. Go to those who know. That's it, learn from those around you. So, and you'd be surprised how many people are willing to give a hand up. I know it can be cutthroat at sometimes, but there are a lot of others who are just aching to share their wisdom and experience and help raise up others.
I love that. So what is your greatest hope for your mission, and how do you see yourself bringing that hope to fruition for your organization?
So generally, my hope is that we can continue to expose children to the arts, play a key role in their holistic education, impact their lives in very positive ways. And yes, it can mean that they're on Broadway, right? Right now, we have 8 or 9 students on Broadway, one who's playing Glinda in Wicked, another one who is in MJ the Musical. But there are also other students who have greater confidence or developed self-esteem or have pursued different types of arts as careers. We have some who've opened their own businesses, and some some just feel comfortable speaking in front of a group of people now, or they're leaders or innovators. The arts is not a very siloed field. It's very broad. And so I am hopeful that we just at least expose possibilities to our K through 12 students because they have so much to give to the world. And I don't want there to be any barriers to their provision, And personally, I hope that someone or some people with the same passion as myself and all those connected to ArtsBridge would endow the program so that we can expand our reach, continue to serve arts education programming in perpetuity. I don't want that piece to ever stop. I think that is best way to learn is to marry the theoretical with the practical and tangible, But until then, I'm going to keep on keeping on. I will keep on keeping on and doing everything in my power to support the hopes and dreams of the students we serve.
Wonderful. And as we wrap up our time today here, do you have any other parting words that you would like to leave with our audience?
Join me in pouring into Georgia's K through 12 students. They are tomorrow's workforce. They are our innovators, leaders, artists, philanthropists, and more. I do want to say that if you're interested in ArtsBridge Foundation, I'm just the one who's blessed to be the vehicle through which the mission and vision can continue right now. But if you want to learn more, go to artsbridgega.org. Go to that website, click on it, see all the phenomenal things that are occurring, and join us in our mission and vision.
We will certainly include that link in the show notes. Thank you again, Jennifer, for taking the time today to share your story. Really grateful for your time. It's been such an honor and pleasure to speak with you today.
You too. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, that's our show for today. It was incredible to hear how passionate Jennifer is about the mission of the ArtsBridge Foundation. And what I found truly inspiring is how she believes that encouraging her employees to be authentic will actually amplify the impact of their work. Once again, we thank you for listening to The Switch. And if you're looking for more episodes of The Switch, visit nonprofithr.com/The Switch, where you can access recordings and resources to help your organization maximize its greatest asset, your people.